Welcome to Small Town Radio, the show with the biggest facts about the smallest towns. Today, we have a special 3.5 hour episode coming at you. I am your host, Maxim.
Oh, yeah. I was making faces into the camera the whole time, showing off my new setting, which has a name, but I don't. So this is called Studio K, as my dad calls it, because he's very clever with naming. And my name is Redacted, so...
I like the Studio K. What kind of debauchery do you get up to in Studio K with that cute little couch and quaint little painting?
Well, that's my bed right behind me. That's a painting that my parents had. I have lights set up over here, that direction. I got a ring light for my phone because I left my camera there. I got the light behind me. The window. It was a lot. With our friend Alex, we spent a lot of time trying to figure out lighting here. And I still don't think we got it right. I think I'm coming a little red, but post will do what it does, I guess.
I've been thinking about getting a ring light, but I feel like if I do, I'm gonna feel kind of vain, like because I feel like inherently a ring light is like I'm gonna take some bomb selfies.
I think it's good if you're gonna do anything on YouTube or anything where you want a little bit more professional lighting. I think it's good.
Yeah. I mean, it's going to be great for my channel when I start Uncle Max's makeup tutorials. So,
well, we should on this show has the biggest facts about
the smallest town.
Yes, and we are found all over the internet. Actually, we are found mostly in paper flyers in your neighborhood. Instead of people posting like rainbows or having teddy bears in their window, they post our podcast, so you can just find us there.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, walk around your neighborhood. If you see a rainbow, probably next to it somewhere, you're gonna see like a little goblin, then like a URL. That's us.
Yeah. Oh. Speaking of which, the Goblin Gauntlet closed today. It closed today. It closed last week for you all.
Yeah, and as of recording, it closes tomorrow.
Yes.
Time problems.
Well, you can find us.
So I guess. Thank you to everyone who had a submission.
Yes, thank you very much.
So we're probably voting on, as if you are listening to this episode, we're probably starting to vote on the artwork. So.
Yes, we are. And congrats to me, the winner.
Congrats to you.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, let's give it up for Connor, folks.
Thank you very much, everyone. I really appreciate it. I spent the $100 prize getting the votes.
Rigging the election cost you $100 when it definitely didn't need to.
What social media do we have?
You can find us at ST Radio Pod on Instagram and Twitter. You can send us your fan mail. Remember, if you're feeling sad, you're feeling happy, you're feeling like a town, you can send us emails at smalltownradiopodcast@gmail.com. Follow us on Facebook. Subscribe to the Small Town Radio YouTube. I think it's Small Town Radio Podcast.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think I might be getting that one wrong.
It's Small Town Radio.
Okay, yeah. Look up Small Town Radio on YouTube.
Man, how does it feel to be on the other side of that miscue? I don't think you've ever gotten the social media wrong.
No, I haven't. The YouTube is like a new gray area for me.
Yeah. Oh, speaking of YouTube, we did get a comment. Someone commented on our video where we were rating looks. It said, Connor is definitely a 14. And I didn't know who it was. I didn't know if it was a scale out of 1 to 10 or 1 to 100. And so I thought I just assumed it was 1 to 10, and I took the compliment. But the only people that I've seen in quarantine is my sister, my brother-in-law, my 2 nephews, and we're the only group of people that interact like with each other. That's the only place. So we're all self-isolating, and those are the only people we actually see. Turns out that my brother-in-law is the one that made the compliment. And I asked him, was it 1 to 10 or 1 to 100? And he said 1 to 100. So
Yikes. I was going to guess it was your brother-in-law. That would be the only acceptable comment. It'd be funny if one of your very young nieces or nephews got on there and commented that you were a 14. My uncle is ugly.
I feel like they need to learn to spell, but this could be their first spelling words.
They use text to speech. Speech to text.
Yeah. Yeah, so we have a game going on today though, don't we? No sports, but a sport here in small town radio.
This is Sport Town Radio today.
Mm-hmm.
This is Sport Game Radio.
Yeah.
So today we got something fun going on. We've got a lightning round episode for you guys, but with a twist this time. What's the twist, Connor?
It is 2 towns and a lie.
Ooh, I like that.
Mm-hmm.
I was saying 2 truths and a lie this whole time, and then you snuck that up on me. 2 towns and a lie. Ooh. Damn.
We got yeah. So do you want to explain what that is?
So in this classic high school icebreaker game, what we're going to do is we're going to go over 3 towns each. 2 of the towns are real, and 1 of them is made up. And we're going to guess which one is made up and see how we do.
And the rule is no fact-checking the other person while they're talking about the towns.
Right, exactly.
Because that would give it away.
Mm-hmm.
Clearly. So, it's basically what we've been doing. 2 truths and a lie. You don't know what's made up because sometimes we don't either.
Yeah, basically every episode of Small Town Radio is like 2 truths and a lie.
Yeah.
That's probably our ratio.
Yeah, just about. I mean, yeah, that sounds about right. Well, I am up first today, right? Correct? We established that. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Are you ready? Do you have anything else you want to discuss?
No, thank you for listening. Hope you enjoy the episode.
Yeah.
It's not going to be 3.5 hours.
Well, we are going to start in Heartland, Vermont.
Okay.
And that is in...
Do you have a theme?
Oh, I do have a theme. Thank you for asking. This is really important. And also, I'm looking off screen because I have a monitor set up over there. This whole thing with a camera is like, I got to have the phone camera within like 1.5 feet from my face for the ring light to work decently and my stuff. So I'm looking off screen a lot to try and do that, but I'm staying in frame. So I do have a theme, and it is particular living situations or unusual living situations.
Ah, like hobbits.
Yeah, I guess. So, well, this first one, I guess, would align with that. Yes, Heartland, Vermont, which I queued up, and it is in northern central Vermont, 32 miles south of Stowe, Vermont. And for our metric listeners, that is 51 kilometers.
Okay.
Population, 482.
All right.
And the fact is, while not officially the inspiration for the 100-acre woods, which is in Ashdown Forest in Sussex, England, this small town was designed as a tourist destination initially by Bob and Ruth Morrell, the founders of Storyland, a themed park located in Glen, New Hampshire, which opened in 1954. And are you familiar, Maxim, with Storyland?
No.
Well, Storyland...
I'm not a New Hampshireite.
I went there as a kid, and it's basically a themed park around like nursery rhymes. It's preteen. It's a preteen park, so you have like Humpty Dumpty falling off the wall and like all of those more classic nursery rhymes in an amusement park form.
Yeah.
So that happened in 1954, and 4 years after Storyland opened, in 1958, Bob and Ruth decided to take on a bit more of a challenge.
Ooh.
They wanted to design a natural amusement park that resembled the 100-acre woods. Unfortunately, a few years after construction started, family complication caused the park design to shutter. A few years later, a developer named Thomas Buchanan took the design a different direction and converted the area into a residential community. However, elements of the 100-acre woods amusement park still remain if you look closely enough. For instance, the sand pit where Rue plays, the bee tree is also there, and some people even claim that a certain house looks like Christopher Robin's house.
Okay. I'm going to be honest with you. When you said the 100-acre woods, at first I was thinking the woods in Robin Hood, not the woods in Winnie the Pooh.
Winnie the Pooh.
My bad.
Pooh Bear.
Okay, yeah. No, I know. I've seen. The reference is not lost on me. I was just confused for a second there.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, you were like, there is a house that resembles, and I was expecting like the Merry Men's Hideout.
Mel Brooks.
Mel Brooks. Yeah, there's a house. Mel Brooks lives there.
It is the home of the great comedian Mel Brooks, and what? I forgot. The moment passed. Passed.
Cool.
But yeah, that is Heartland. And do you want to be able to ask a certain number of questions, like 2 questions, 3 questions, to try and suss out like what's real and what's fake?
I think I would like to make my guess at the end of the episode.
You don't want to have any questions to poke to see like holes. You want to ask the questions at the end?
No, considering also our research is very shallow a lot of times.
I know everything about all these places. I got 2 monitors in Studio K. I can fact check it all for you. Oh,
okay,
you have no idea.
which Winnie the Pooh character do you most relate to?
Depends on the day. Some days I'm a Tigger, some days I'm an Eeyore.
Those are 2 extremes.
Yeah, and I'm somewhere in between.
Connor just admitted that he has manic depression. Just kidding. Oh, no. Okay, that's not a joke, actually. Sorry, everyone. Okay, no, I'll guess which town is fake at the end.
Okay, great. Well,
Awesome.
That is, do you remember?
Something Vermont.
Heartland, Vermont.
Heartland, Vermont. Okay. Awesome. So my theme for my 3 towns now, my theme is to honor our dutiful postman, Sam, because he has not been doing a lot lately. So my theme for this week is post offices.
USPS.
You ready?
Which I'm a little weary of these days because I feel like I know COVID, the virus doesn't last that long on those types of material, but I'm still like a little bit weary that, that could be a major source of the spread. But,
totally. Yeah. Best to be careful. Wipe down whatever comes into your place.
Yeah.
So I'm going to start off with a little fact about post offices in general, because people might not know this. In 1775,
Postmaster General?
Yeah, I'm getting there. So in 1775, Benjamin Franklin was appointed the Postmaster General of the United States Post Office. Of the United States. So the post office was born. And this position of Postmaster General was so important that in 1829, this position was included amongst the presidential cabinet. So I don't think it's that important now. It's still important, don't get me wrong, but it was incredibly important back in the day.
I'm just waiting for the facts about the Pony Express.
I didn't actually have any in here.
That's the lie right there.
That's the lie. All of it is a lie now.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so town number 1. This is Ochopee, Florida, which is an unincorporated community in Collier County. The population is 129. And this post office in Ochopee is the smallest post office building in the United States. It is a fully functional post office in a 7 by 8 foot shed.
Do mailboxes count as post offices? Because what is it, Seinfeld, where one of them needs to get the letter out of the mailbox and then they get stuck in there? They fall in. Does that count as a post office?
I think if there's a person inside it handling mail, probably.
Oh, okay. Challenge accepted.
Yeah. So this post office has one employee who sits there I didn't read too much into the article, but everything they need is within reach, and a lot of people will come there to get their post office stamp because it's like a kind of a collector thing. 'Cause it's the smallest office in the U.S.
Mm-hmm.
The building used to be a storage facility for irrigation pipes of an adjacent tomato farm. And then it was converted to a post office in 1953 after a fire destroyed their real post office.
And
So
where is this?
staying
where
on
is this
staying on our
located
small town
again?
trope. Ochopee, Florida.
Where is that in Florida?
Hang on. Or Ochopee, Florida. Let's see. Maps. It is, wow, it's almost down by the Keys.
Interesting.
It's like almost on the southern tip, near south of Fort Myers. It's it's straight west of Miami, but on the opposite edge.
Okay.
So yeah, their old post office was burned in a fire, and they're like, hey, we need a post office. Let's put it in this tomato irrigation shed. And
Reduce,
then
reuse,
I also
recycle.
have, yeah, they're just being resourceful. I had another fact about this that came up when I was looking at this town that I just want to mention. Ochopee is also home to the Skunk Ape Research Center.
Skunk ape.
Bigfoot.
Oh, I didn't. Is that what they call it?
That's one of the names for him.
Okay, I didn't know that. I'm not a. I feel like there's enough things I'm chasing in my life that I don't need to track down Bigfoot.
A consistent comedy gig.
Yeah. Yeah. Honestly. Oh man. Well, is that the fact?
That's town number 1. Yep.
All right. On to fact number 2, and I will dovetail your Florida with a Florida. And this is Miracle Village in Florida.
What a
so it's
name.
not technically a town, but a community within a town, which I will explain. It is in southeast Florida, and the population is, according to Wikipedia, over 100, because it's not an official town, but a community, an isolated community. I didn't get the actual population number, but let me read here. Miracle Village is the nickname of a community on Muck City Road, about 3 miles east of Pahokee, Florida, that serves as a haven for registered sex offenders.
Oh, God.
In 2014, the name was officially changed to City of Refuge, but is still generally referred to as Miracle Village. And it's really isolated, and I believe it was founded by a priest. Oh, my storage is running low. My storage is running low. How the heck? I'm gonna pause my video real quick, delete a bunch of apps, but you can still ask me questions.
Okay. Interesting that they called it Miracle Village when it's full of sex offenders.
I mean, it's interesting. But again, if you think about like the religious people that formed it, I guess it makes some sense, right?
I guess so, yeah.
Like you try to help them get better, because I mean, there's so many restrictions on where sex offenders can and can't live, that if you have a really isolated community, you might as well just I don't know, put them in one spot. It's like have you seen Arrested Development?
That's what I was literally just gonna say, that Sudden Valley and Arrested Development.
Yeah, I feel like, I mean, it could have been based off of this.
I could see that. It seems kind of in line with that, but there's probably other places like this in the United States as well.
Yeah. I mean, I can imagine that for sure. But yeah, that is Miracle Village in Florida.
Nice, awesome. Well, are you ready? Do you have a sponsor you want to throw in here?
I'm sponsoring Compressed Files. My sponsor is Compressed Files, because boy, if my files were compressed, I'd be in much better shape right now. Also, I'm pretty sure this app records because I got a camera app for my phone that allows me to mess around with some more of the features. But I'm pretty sure it records in a higher fidelity. Or like, you know how cameras have like RAW and JPEG and like .mp4 and those things? I'm pretty sure it records in a larger file size, which is the issue we see here.
It records audio in FLAC and it only records video in RAW 60 FPS.
Well, yeah, I mean, oh, man, this is so embarrassing, but it's good to learn.
It definitely is.
Yeah. So, what about you? What's your sponsor?
Today I'm sponsored by I'm gonna give a loving shout out to all the content and tutorial creators on YouTube. Just everybody in general, because I've been, you might know on this podcast, but I've been learning photography and like I got a camera. I'm trying to get better at it. And I'm really grateful that there's a million people willing to explain every little detail of a camera and photography online in video tutorial form, because it makes just such a good resource. Like,
yeah, I mean,
it's
for
great.
sure. It's the easiest way to learn.
Yeah, it's like I'm going out and I'm shooting a lot and trying to get better. And it's a bummer because there are photos I really like, but that I take slightly wrong or like accidentally overexpose a little bit, or I get the aperture wrong or like the white balance wrong. And then I go back later and I look at the photo, I'm like, damn. And I watch a tutorial on how to fix it. Then it's like, well, now I can't go get that exact same photo. Because next time I got it, I would be sure to make sure it's correct.
Yeah.
So I'm learning. It's a process. I took a cool picture of a fence yesterday that was like a spiked fence in front of a church, and one of the spikes had a glove on it, like a black glove that was like in a weird position. And I thought it was part of the fence at first. And I was like, ooh, I'll take a picture of that. And I took some like 3 really great photos, but they're like 2 of them are just like a hint overexposed, and it's like, So basically photography is like, you're like, I'm really good at taking pictures with my phone. Maybe I'll get into real photography. And then you spend $1,000 and you get kicked in the balls a bunch of times. That's photography.
It's any creative endeavor is such a slow process.
Totally. Yeah. It's funny because like stand-up comedy, it just seemed like it's a quicker process. But when you get like a year or more into it and you look back on your progress, you're like, oh, I improved all these little details that I didn't even think about, and now I'm just better at it.
Yeah.
And photography is something where there's a very specific range of things you can improve to do better. So thank you to everyone. If you've ever made a YouTube tutorial for anything, thank you. I know Time Magazine in 2006 made you Person of the Year already, but thank you again.
They were wow, why is my lighting so different now? All right, we're going to get rolling again. It's so weird.
All right, you ready for my town too?
Get on it, man.
All right, so my second town is a town named Hogfield, Texas. So location, it's southern Texas, 100 miles west of San Antonio, near the U.S.-Mexico border. The population, 762. And the fact about it, this one is an interesting one because it does have some good history in it. Hogfield's post office was the first post office in Texas, built in 1830 under Mexican rule. The post office has a legendary reputation for serving as a post office for both the U.S. and Mexico at the same time during the Mexican-American War. So the post office is located in such a place that it did not attract either country's attention. It was just kind of out of the way. And so the post office employees there just kept on business as usual during the whole duration of the war. And then afterward, it ended up as United States Post Office.
Interesting. Huh. Okay. And still in use, like is it like the same structure and everything?
Yeah, it's like a little like stone and mortar type building.
Natural what is it? History National Registry of Historic Places?
Oh yeah, it's actually on Wikipedia, there's a list of post offices in the U.S.
Mm-hmm.
and it's a list by state, and a lot of them are marked as National Register of Historic Places, NRHP, and like you can tell which ones are which. And when I picked the theme, I was like, how am I going to find post offices? And then I looked it up, and I was like, oh, this is going to be easy because it just marks all the ones that are historic. And there's a lot of cool facts about them.
Are we headed to Cope at any point?
No.
Cope, do you know? Okay, interesting. Man, I'm up recording. I started recording again during the middle of that, as people
Wow,
online
congratulations.
Man, I'm learning a lot about this stuff, and just wishing I still had my camera with me. All right, are you ready for my town?
Mm-hmm.
All right, third and final town. This is Whittier, Alaska.
Ooh, I've heard this name.
Maybe you're thinking of Forrest Whitaker, Alaska?
Oh, you said Whitaker.
No. This is Whittier.
Whittier. I've heard Whittier. Yeah.
Oh, interesting. Huh.
So this is definitely the lie.
Hey. Whittier is a city at the head of the Passage Canal in the U.S. state of Alaska, about 58 miles or 93 kilometers southeast of Anchorage.
Okay.
Population, 220. And the fact is, pretty much everyone lives in one building. And the building is called Villiage.
Yes, this is the giant hotel thing where everyone lives in the same massive community and they never leave.
No, you're thinking of the book City of Embers, where everyone lives underground.
If it wasn't against the rules, I would Google it right now because I know this is a real place.
Hey, sometimes your gut dissolves beer.
Okay, continue with your fact.
The place is called Breckenridge. The structure is notable for being like a small scale archaeology, which is a field of creating archaeological design principles for very densely populated, ecologically low impact human habitats. And it is, what is it? It contains where most of the residents lives, as well as its public facilities. Mm-hmm. And it has named, Villiage has earned Whittier the name, the town under one roof.
Cool.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's it.
That's it.
That's it.
I feel like that one's real because I've definitely watched a documentary on that place.
Well, I watched a documentary about the Lion King, and
well,
let me tell you, it's nothing like the original.
The Lion King is a true story. I saw people on Broadway in New York do it.
Yeah,
I saw the whole thing happen.
I know Elton John's real.
On. I gotta restart my.
Do you know what's also wild, Maxim?
What? What's
this
wild?
light that I have only lasts for about 25 minutes. The ring light.
Oh, is it like a charge, or it's not?
It's a rechargeable. Yeah, it's still on, but it's nowhere near the same. We should be a tutorial on lights and not what to buy, what works, what doesn't. Because we just tested this. Check out my next video right here on lighting situations and my review of the light I bought recently. Here? I don't know.
This is the review. It only lasts 25 minutes.
It's still on, but it's not working. Really. Not doing the job it should. That's good to know. Yeah, so those are my towns. Those are the unusual living situations.
All right, I'm going to come in here with my third town. We'll take our guesses at the end here. This is Jellico, Tennessee. It's located in northeastern Tennessee on the Kentucky border. Population, 2,355. So fact number one, Jellico is home to the U.S. Post Office and Mine Rescue Station. So the building that these are in was built in 1915, and the first floor was a post office, and the second floor was used by the U.S. Bureau of Mines and a local mine rescue organization. Mine rescue stations were outfitted with equipment needed to respond to underground mining accidents and served as sites for conducting training of local mining personnel. So this is a post office / mine rescue station because they had coal mining in the area. And there's only one more of these in the United States, and that's in Norton, Virginia.
Okay. All right. Huh. Yours are all middle of the road. Nothing extraordinary.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we're down to the guessing part now?
Yeah, here we go.
Okay, so recap your places in one town sentences. I can do mine first if we want to keep the continuity of order.
Okay, so Ochopee, Florida, smallest post office. Hogfield, Texas, post office built by Mexico and served under both Mexico and the United States. Mm-hmm. And then Jellico, Tennessee, which is a post office and mine rescue station.
Okay, I know what I will guess. Do you want me to do my towns first?
Yeah.
Okay, so we have Heartland, Vermont, the town that slightly resembles the 100-acre woods.
Mm-hmm.
We have Miracle Village, Florida, the community, not an actual town, for registered sex offenders. Mm-hmm. And we have Whittier, Alaska, the place, this town under one roof.
Okay. All right, you make your guess first.
I am going with option A. Drew, tell me if that's right. What do I did I get the prize?
No, you're wrong. That's incredible. I didn't think you were gonna. I thought it was obvious.
They're all post offices. The amount of detail I care about post offices, other than not contracting coronavirus right now, very slight. Very slight.
So can I tell you which one it is?
List the other two. Let me take another crack at it.
So there's Hogfield, Texas, and Jellico, Tennessee. There's a mine or a post office / mining building in Jellico.
I'm gonna go with letter B. Drew.
The Tennessee or Texas?
Texas.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah,
because
that was my second guess, but the list of registry, when you said that, it made sense. But honestly, I don't know enough dates about the Mexican-American War to have fact-checked you without looking stuff up.
So this place, there actually is this one was based off a true place. So
that's okay. Did you just change the name?
No. Okay. The true fact was there's an old building in Texas that was a Mexican post office that after the American War, like we claimed that area, but that's as far as it goes. And I don't think at any point was there a post office that served for both Mexico and the United States because they were like, screw it.
That's like you took 80% of a fact and then changed the beginning of its history.
I also changed the town name, and I thought that would be the giveaway is, do you think a place in southern Texas that was established by Mexican rule would be called Hogfield?
Well, there's enough towns where we've changed the names of them afterwards.
Yeah, I don't know. I made up pretty much all of that except for a post office built in 1830 by Mexicans.
Okay. All right.
Okay, now you can berate me for my guess, okay? I'm going to say Miracle Village is the lie.
That is incorrect.
Oh! Is it the 100-acre wood place?
It is indeed.
Oh,
indeed.
That one's clever, though, because like I heard that and I was like, even though it is kind of weird, I can 100% see it being a real place.
So the truth within the lie is there is a place in New Hampshire called Storyland. And Bob and Ruth Morrell are the founders of Storyland. But that's the rest of the stuff Well, I guess Ashdown Forest is the real inspiration for the 100 Acre Woods, but the rest of that stuff, I don't know if there's a Heartland, Vermont. I don't know. You know, yeah, it is what it is.
That was good.
Oh, and Thomas Buchanan, that name that I mentioned that I threw out for the designer is the name of a guy I worked with at the college at KWVA Eugene, the University of Oregon's college radio station. Thomas Buchanan.
So once again, 80% real, 20% made up.
No, the town is based off of nothing real. It's just the details around it. Where the town of yours was...
The town is fake. The post office is half real. So that was my Sam's salute to the United Sam's Postal Service, working hard during the Mexican-American War.
Was it mine? I ran these by my dad, and he thought he didn't know anything about Whittier. But he thought I made up Miracle Village as well. He's just like, oh, be careful about that. I'm like, I'm just listing facts here.
Yeah. Whittier, when you said the name, I was like, I've heard that name. And then when you said everyone lives under the same roof, it was like, oh no, this is the real one. I remember this because it was so crazy how these people live.
Yeah, I mean, that was the risk because both of us have looked up so many towns that the possibility of us having seen one of the real ones was quite high.
I think it would be cool to do a full episode on Whittier because it's so weird.
Yeah, I didn't go too far into it because I figured if I knew more about one compared to another, it would be more obvious.
Yeah.
But I did have all my 100 Acre Woods facts ready to go.
Nice. The thing about the lie is when you're lying, you often come up with too many details. That's something that people do. So with my thing, I just read it off for what it was and just kind of gave the general overview. And if all of my facts have the same amount of depth, then it's hard to discern which one's real or not. If there's one that has excessive detail or I know too much about it, then that would have given it away as more of a lie.
Yeah. Well, now we know about how to lie. Kids, what a great Easter lesson we've learned today.
Tall Tale Radio.
Tall Tale Radio.
Yeah. No, what we're doing now with these creative exercises on small town radio is we're learning how to commit subterfuge and sabotage. Saboteurs. Saboteur Town Radio.
Do you have any jokes?
Oh, okay. Here's one that I've been kind of writing. So we had a webinar with our CEO last week at work, and one thing he talked about during this coronavirus time is he's like, "There's 3 things on my mind right now. We need to have good community. We're doing great. You guys are talking, getting together, having virtual happy hours. I'm so happy with it. We need to have good communication. And I'm so proud of our leaders for talking down to their staff, and we're in good communication about how things are going and who's doing what, and like." That we're clear on what's happening in this weird time. And the third thing I'm not concerned about, but I'm aware of, is our company has a lot of cash. We have a lot of cash. We have cash income, we got cash outgoing, we got cash in the reserves. And he kept saying cash like he was going to run away to Mexico or something. Like, yeah, we got a lot of cash. We got a lot of cash in duffel bags. We have a lot of duffel bags.
See, that's interesting because cash is a great place for money to be now if we're going into a depression. Because if the market's dropping, cash's value is staying the same.
I don't know if he meant literal cash or just that we have a saved up money amount as a company. I have no idea. But when he kept saying the word cash, and when I hear cash, I think of like drug deals and illegal activities. I also just started watching Ozark, so that's where my mind's at.
Yeah, I've heard a lot of people watching that. When I think of Cash, I think of June Carter Cash, the wife of Johnny Cash.
Rest in peace.
Both? I don't know if June.
No, she's dead. You know why? Because Johnny Cash did the cover of 9 Inch Nails' "Hurt" like a couple months after she died.
That's right.
Okay, Well, this is normally a really happy podcast, but we've been in a bad habit of ending on a sad note now.
Do you, if you don't mind me plugging what I'm doing?
Oh, go for it.
So I've started a page called Sometimes Funny Content where I post more or less Photoshop photos, like in Onion-esque style, like bottom 3 fits is text, upper is a funny Photoshop thing. And then I also have Clocks Only on TikTok, which is going horribly, which makes me so happy because if people liked Clocks Only, my faith in America would be shattered. So, but this upcoming week on Sometimes Funny Content is Vegetable Week. And
Vegetable Week. What's your favorite vegetable, Connor?
I don't know. Depends on the day. I like Brussels sprouts roasted quite a bit. Sweet potatoes are great.
Iffy.
Let me see, because I've worked out a number of the jokes that I'm doing. I think one of the ones will be, Carrot says about Onion boyfriend, he doesn't have that many layers. Onion responds, I didn't even know we were dating. Carrot responds, we were in the same bed.
Oh my God, stop. Stop it.
Yeah. What's the other one?
Onion boyfriend says to Carrot girlfriend, why are you cold? You should just wear more layers.
Throw it on. Well, they grow in the summer. What is this? I'll read 2 more. This is the worst one I wrote. Swiss cheese and Swiss chard make Swiss boys sad. And potato says to salad, no thank you. Man doesn't care.
That's good. Those are good headlines.
Those are the vegetables vegetables only this week.
Vegetables only. Sometimes funny things, sometimes vegetables.
Sometimes, yeah. Sometimes really makes it an easy thing to hit or miss. So,
all right. Is that all we got for today?
That is, yeah. You can follow us on Instagram at ST Radio Pod. You can send us photos of towns that we've talked about that you've been. You can email us town suggestions at smalltownradiopodcast@gmail.com. Our Twitter is the same as our Instagram. We are on Facebook. My light is pretty much dead, so...
That's right, and leave us a 5-star review. I'll send you stickers.
Yes, I have stickers here in New Hampshire too, but I leave my house once every 18 days.
Yeah, because I hand deliver them.
I spit on mine before they get to you.
All right, thanks for listening. Love you all. Bye.
Bye.